I'm going to show you how to do Lab 1 on the RS Logix Studio 5000 software. So you will do your startup and you will save this as Lab 1. So I have already made my startup and I have saved this as Lab 1. So now we need to convert our startup program to Lab 1. Lab 1 requires a pressure switch and a temperature switch to turn on a motor starter. So we are going to alter this. We are just going to delete this and we're going to create a new run. So we're going to add a normally open contact, and then where the question mark is, we're going to right click and we're going to create a new tag, and we're going to call this pressure switch. And then we are going to alias this for our real world device. So we click alias, alias 4, and we're going to do our inputs. So our inputs is local in local 5i, and then we're going to click on data. And we're going to use our limit switch. Our limit switch is located on data input 5. So we're going to click 5 for our limit switch. And then we're going to create that. So we're going to use a limit switch. We do not have a pressure switch, so we're going to use a limit switch in place of our pressure switch. And then we're going to add our temperature switch. We will get another normally open contact. And we'll notice we click and drag. And when that goes green, then we release our mouse. And then we'll right click on the arrow, new tag, and we're going to call this temperature switch. And then again we're going to alias this for our other limit switch, and we're going to click on our local 5i. Our other limit switch is going to be data number 6. So we'll click on data number 6 and then hit create. And instead of a light, we are going to delete our output, and we're going to write a new output. And we're going to right click on this, and we're going to create a new tag, and we're going to call this motor starter. And then we're going to alias it again for our real world output of our motor starter. Our real world outputs are going to be on local 6, that is our relay output card. And then our motor starters are connected to outputs 4. So our local 6 output data 4 will be where our motor starter is located. And we're going to hit create. Now our lab requires us to do a branch so that we'll have a manual push button. So we're going to click on our branch and we're going to drag it down, and you notice it will go green. And then we take the other side of the branch and put it where our input will go. And we'll put us another normally open contact. We will right click, create a new tag. We're going to call this a manual push button. And then we're going to alias this for our push button. And our push button again is going to be local 5, data type 1 will be our first push button. So we're going to create that tag. So this is our program. This is the way it looks in our lab handout. So now but it will not work. We can push button 1 and nothing happens because we have not sent it to the PLC yet. So we must first download it to the PLC. There's a couple ways to do this. We can go to communication. We can click on download. We can click our offline and go to download. So we click the download button and it takes a few seconds to go online. And then we will just click the download button again, because it will erase the program that is in the computer with the one that is in the PLC. So then it's going to go back into run mode and the machine will run. It's going to put this online. So we notice that everything is green. Our rungs on the side are green. We have a run mode is green. So everything should be working correctly. So we will make our pressure switch limit switch, and it comes on, but you notice the motor starter will not come on until we make the temperature, and then the motor will come on. Or we can hit our manual push button and the motor will come on. So that is how we're going to do Lab 1 in the Studio 5000 software.